What's up everybody, welcome back to the Art of Crypto, the birthplace of absolutely legendary gains. In this video we are going to take a look at MATIC and understand exactly where the institutions are going to push the price to and where the smart money is going to be buying. Now there's a saying that you follow the money, so if you want to have a clear picture of what the smart money is doing right now, you are going to want to watch this video to the end. And just to give you a little bit of credibility as to how I know what I'm talking about, a couple of days ago I called this exact scenario for Bitcoin to play out, right? It would just consolidate here a bit and then come up to this level, right, and then bull trap everyone out, and right now we actually got rejected at exactly that level. So trust me when I say I know a thing or two about what institutions are doing. I'm not saying I'm working for one, but you know, there are ways to understand institutional thinking. And if you haven't already followed me on Twitter at _theartofcrypto, you're going to want to do so, because over here is where I'm sharing the latest market updates and you're not going to want to miss out. For example, yesterday I called this data fuel short and I said that it would drop from this level exactly down here, and if you just look at your chart you will find out that exactly it dropped to here. So yeah, I know a thing or two about what I'm talking about, so you're probably going to want to listen up. So right off the bat, let's start off with the weekly chart, because trust me when I say institutions are not looking at, you know, an hour chart or like a 15-minute chart. No, they are looking for the higher time frame areas of interest where they are going to want to pick up whatever it is that they're going to want to pick up. And right off the bat, let me just mark down this level right here at 0.47. Over here is an institutional order block on the weekly chart, which means this level is going to be extremely strong. Now, all an order block is the last down candle before a very sharp move upwards. So if you see right here, this sharp move upwards, the last bearish candle was like right about here, and so we just take the candle open and, you know, we mark it like that. For now we go at the top, but there is also a case to be made for the candle open as well. But for now, let us stick with this candle top. And then I'm going to mark down this level as well, and I'm going to color code this red, or rather I like to use orange, and this is what we call our weekly low. So these two levels are going to be extra strong support, and the reason is because institutions usually would want to push price down to an area of interest, and for them it's going to be a higher time frame level such as a weekly low or a couple of weekly lows. So right off the bat, these two levels are going to be strong support. So if we now go onto the daily chart, in fact, before we do that, we have to mark out some weekly tops as well. So for example, this level right here at 1.71 is going to be extremely strong resistance, because liquidity is going to be right up here, and if price comes up to here, it's going to get a hard rejection. But that is a long time away. In fact, I do not see MATIC going back up to 1.71 that quickly. Right now, you're going to want to focus on playing the shorts. So right off the bat, let me just explain a little bit about how I have approached this Bitcoin short, and you know, the AVAX short, the ADA short, and you know, the way that I'm predicting all of these exact levels. And you know, the way I do this, right, is you want to look for liquidity. For example, yesterday ADA had somewhat of a similar chart to MATIC, and I was saying that there was liquidity right below this level. If we just take a look at ADA, actually I'm not going to do that because I don't want to mess this up, but by liquidity, what I mean is that, you know, imagine if you went long on ADA, I mean on MATIC, over at this level, right, at any of these levels, if you went long, what would be a logical area for you to put your stop loss? So for example, if I were you, I would have set it right below here, right, because you know, this is a swing low, this is a daily low, or perhaps right below here. And if you think the same, then trust me, a lot of retail traders are going to think the same way too. And so the market always wants to go and hunt out the liquidity in the market, and at the moment, you know, the liquidity was over here. And just to add a little bit of confluence to my theory, you can see that exactly, look over here, if I bring up the VPVR, right below this level, liquidity. Right over there, liquidity. Market wants to stop out the liquidity, and do you know why? Because retail has no power to move the markets. The ones that have the power to generate these kinds of candles, right, these kinds of candles, trust me when I say that this is not retail. This is institutional candles. And when it comes to institutions, their order sizes is like, it ranges somewhere in the millions to hundreds of millions. And so there is no way that they're going to fill their order like somewhere around here, right? They're just going to get a really bad spread in their price. So what they do is they look for areas of very high liquidity, right, where everyone would have their stop losses set. And well, over here, if you had your stop loss set here, presumably it would be a sell stop, which means if price reaches below here, you will sell your position. And if you're selling, guess who's buying? So right now we have only just stopped out one area of liquidity, and at the moment this area right here, which we have currently just stopped out, I believe, is another area of liquidity. However, if you just take a look at VPVR, you can see that the next point of interest, right, the next point of control is somewhere at around 80 cents, right? And just to play it conservatively, let's call this area about 87 cents. Now this is going to be a key level of interest for institutions to want to come down to, because for one, there's a lot of liquidity down here, which means if they wanted to buy, right, if they wanted to buy MATIC thinking that it would go up, they would need to push the price down to about this level before their orders would be filled sufficiently and then move upwards. And while this may be an area of liquidity, you might think that, oh hey, this is like support, resistance, right? It's a major level. Yeah, sure thing, but that's not what the institutions are thinking about. It's all about liquidity. Honestly, if I was an institution and I wanted to fill, let's say, $1 billion worth of MATIC, I mean, hypothetically speaking, where do you think would give me the best chance at filling that? For me, it would be right below here. In fact, I mean, probably not there, because very likely the amount, like right now we don't have any confluence from VPR stating that there's liquidity down here, because probably the people who bought here would have already got stopped out like somewhere along these lines. So no, this level is totally out of the question. So for now, VPVR is showing right here at about this area right here, which means if I was an institution, I would want to push price down to an area of liquidity. Right, as you can see, there's nothing here. And by the way, if you're enjoying this video so far and this is something new that you've never heard other YouTubers talk about, I want you to hit the like button and subscribe for more videos just like this, where I go through institutional type trading. So at the moment, I know I became a little bit long-winded there, and I'm sort of just going pretty much impromptu here, but some areas of interest that you're going to want to watch out for is right below this level. And you can see there's liquidity down here, which means just don't be surprised, right? Because MATIC has already broken this 1.16 level, right here, because it has already broken this area of liquidity, or rather we call it a point of control, then expect it to be sort of a free fall down to about, if I just draw this, at least down to $1. Right, from this point onwards, it's already $1.07. So yeah, it's definitely going to go lower. So expect possibly MATIC to find support at $1. But honestly speaking, if I was an institution, I would not buy MATIC here. It just wouldn't be enough to fill my orders. So you want to, market seeks out liquidity. So for now, these three levels are going to be like your areas of interest. And I know right now I'm just discussing like possibilities that might not even happen in the first place. And I know that's true, but here's the thing, a lot of retail feels the same way. I don't know about you, but how many people have tried to go long on Bitcoin when the entire time, and by the way, I called that exact Bitcoin snipe on Twitter, but honestly, I was calling it on my private Discord group as well. Look at how many people are making absolutely ridiculous profits, even during a time like this when everybody is probably losing their money. So if you enjoy the fact that I'm pretty much right a lot of the time, and I even nail entries down to the exact dollar, and I nail the take profit targets down to the exact dollar, like right here, we sniped this in the private Discord group, and you're going to want to be involved. Right here, every day, I am calling out profitable trading setups, and there have been so many people in this Discord group that have paid off their monthly membership in just a couple of trades. And at the moment, I'm only accepting about 50 more people because I want to be able to dedicate focused attention to every single member in the group. And I cannot do that if there are too many people in the group. So like, forget the calls, right? You are literally going to get access to a world-class trading education. So if you're new in crypto, this is the perfect time for you to hop in and build a solid foundation for yourselves, because as I always like to say, a couple of hours of education is going to save you a few thousand in losses later on. So the link is in the description. I want you to check it out. And at the moment, if you pay with crypto, you can get up to 40% off. So, spots are limited, just get in. It's going to be worth it. So after refining my MATIC levels, you are going to want to mark down these three levels right here. These are going to be points of interest for MATIC, and I would be confident enough to say that for like 47 cents is going to be quite close to the bottom, quite close. Right? If you want the exact bottom, then that would be about 42 cents. But honestly, I wouldn't take the risk. You could get into MATIC at 0.47. Am I saying that the price is going to dump all the way there? No, absolutely not. But just based on what I'm seeing with Bitcoin and Bitcoin volatility index, it's not out of the picture right now. Lots of liquidity at 29k, which I've been calling on my Twitter. Right, I've already been calling this on my Twitter. I expect Bitcoin to dump to at least 25.5, like 29.5k, to at least stop out all the stop losses right below this level. And for all I know, right, market, like, remember what I said about market wanting to seek out liquidity, right? We haven't cleared this node, and especially this node right here, which means, don't be surprised if Bitcoin dumps to, 29.5, 27, or potentially even 25, right? 24. Do not be surprised. In fact, we go down to 24. I would never, I actually wouldn't be surprised at all, because right now this is a daily order block right here that you are seeing on Bitcoin that we potentially have not filled. So 100% I'm gonna be scooping up Bitcoin at 24k. Either way, if you guys were struggling in the last few days, if you were in the private Discord group, you wouldn't have struggled at all, because I have been calling this dump to the exact dollar. And if you were in the private Discord group, you would get really clear directions every single day on whether you're supposed to buy or whether you're supposed to sell. So if you want guidance like that, you're going to want to go to the link in the description and sign up for the private Discord group. Trust me, it's going to be worth it. So for sure, 100%, I'm going to pick up Bitcoin at 24k. Am I saying it's going to get there? No, but I am expecting Bitcoin to at least go to 25, like 29.9, like 29.5k. And if we still do not see the amount of longs, right, if we just go to, for example, Bitcoin USDT longs, if we at the moment, this stuff is still at all-time highs right now, which means there are still a lot of liquidity down low. And if we do not stop out all the liquidity it's going to be really hard for us to move forward. So just keep that in mind, right? Market moves to an area of higher liquidity, and at the moment, their stop loss is right below this level, right underneath this level, right? Makes sense? If you were long on Bitcoin right now, where would you realistically set your stop loss? Right about here, right? So don't think like retail, right? Think like institutions. And if you want exact entries, and I'm talking like exact entries on how to take these trades, look, I'm giving exact instructions. So seriously, you're going to want to check out the private Discord group. You will make your money back real quick. And with that said, my friend, may the gains be with you. Stay safe. I'll see you in the private Discord group, and peace.